I think we're here. I think we're live, everybody.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Hey, it's Katie
Hey.
and Dana.
Happy Monday.
Right. It is Monday. That's how I know it's Monday, because I watch TNN. Did you see what I did there? The neighborhood news, of course.
Everybody loves TNN.
That's right. We're learning a lot over here. Yeah, my shelves are bare. Look at this, guys.
Dude, I can't wait to see where we're going to be watching you from the next time we meet.
The next time we meet, it will not be in this office. So
I know.
And it will be in this office nevermore.
I know. Well, exciting stuff for you. And I can't wait to see what your new backdrop is going to look like.
Probably similar. I won't even be able to tell you, be like, oh, I thought you moved. Yeah, I did.
Awesome. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Good to see you guys. Welcome to, TNN, otherwise known as the Neighborhood News.
Whoop, whoop.
So, yep.
We have on what's hot off the press today, Reporter Dana?
I feel like I should start saying reporting to you live.
Yeah. It's true.
Awesome, you guys. Well, again, thank you for everybody who voted, and we'll continue to do that. But how would you like to own a part of history in Phoenix?
Heck yes. Historic are my jam. I think I've told you that. I don't know if everybody else knows that, but I'm in love with historic homes. I own one that was actually built in 1880. It's not in the district that we're talking about today, so we don't have to talk about it, but I love this. So I'm super excited. And
you can really add some great, nuggets to this, Katie, because it's so easy to fall in love with these homes. Once you start exploring these areas, it feels like you literally go back in time, you guys, to Katie's point. I mean, these homes in Garfield Historic District started being built in 1883 up to 1955.
Isn't that cool?
It's so cool, you guys. And I had the opportunity to tour a 100-year-old home that had been renovated, and we'll look at that. But yeah, super, super, super interesting area, and it's really up and coming. So let's kind of go back in time with some of the history, though.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give a little background. So each of our so Phoenix and the suburbs like Mesa and Gilbert and Chandler, they all have historic districts. Tempe's got one too, and they have historic homes. Phoenix has the most. I mean, that makes sense, right? Phoenix has, off the top of my head, I want to say 35 historic districts. Or 35 historic neighborhoods. And so we'll be talking about just one today, and that is Garfield, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's one of the most up and coming ones as well. So it's really got some interesting history, and it's one of the most eclectic bungalow homes that you'll see in Phoenix.
Yay,
it's just super cool. It's colorful, you guys. It became it basically started with this gentleman named John T. Dennis. So he was a pioneer settler who emigrated from Ohio in 1868.
Dang.
I know. So
back then.
So can you imagine? I mean, this is before automobiles or anything. So, and the neighborhood was one of the first additions to the original Phoenix town site.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a perfect example of what we call a streetcar subdivision. So it was, where residential development was directly related to the establishment of streetcar, the line that went right through the neighborhood.
Cool.
I know.
Like modern day light rail.
Modern day light rail. And that's what I thought of. And I pulled up some old pictures and just, I think it's cool. Maybe we can share some pictures like in our story afterwards. But so John T. Dennis saw the value of this land for future residential development. And so he basically, Maricopa County recorded what they call the Dennis Addition in November 16th, 1883. And then it was annexed into Phoenix in 1899. And by 1910, there were 18 pyramidal cottages were completed on what we call Pierce Street between 7th and 9th Street. So this is what you'll see. And a lot of it is based on the architectural from decade to decade. And you'll see how it changes when you're able to go down through that neighborhood. But 18 cottages, that's it. And then by the 1920s, there was a lot of growth in the area. 6 of the 7 churches located in the Garfield neighborhood were constructed between 1925 and 1931. You can still see them today. It's really, really interesting when you drive through there. And then commercial establishments and small businesses started to flourish at this time. And then right at the corner too, where 10th and Pierce Street is, where now sits the Welcome Diner, which is a neighborhood farm to table, all from scratch restaurant, was where a lot of those, where a lot of those small businesses were located, because it's where the streetcar line turned north. So super popular area right there. And then, so they had a school, it's called Garfield Public School, which is still in existence today. And they built it in 1913, but in 1925, they added an addition to it simply because of all the residential and this whole community that was starting to really flourish. So that was a great sign for that time. And then by the 1930s, the style of home started to change a little bit and going to more of a ranch style home. So it was more brick, concrete, hip roofs, and then steel casement windows. So it's really just different architecture from decade to decade. And then by 1955, the neighborhood was largely filled with homes, neighborhood stores. And then for most of that decade, very little construction was going on. But by the 1960s, you saw some multifamily apartment complexes start to pop up. And so again, that was a great sign. And now a lot of artists started to revitalize this area. So when you drive through, you can see all these painted murals along the side of the streets. It's just so colorful, you guys. And a lot of what's happening now, people are purchasing these homes and they are either renovating them or rebuilding them from scratch. And it's, I mean, and still to the similar design of that bungalow style home.
Oh, good. Because I'm a historic person. I love historic homes. And in my head, I'm like, don't tear it down. renovate.
Yeah.
Restore.
I know. And again, and some of them are, you see, you know, larger homes, and it really varies anywhere from about 1,800 square feet up to about 1,800 square feet. But it's so cool because, and you can probably speak a little bit more to this too, Katie, a lot of these lots are, they're zoned for multi-family. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, the one that I own is actually, it's residential / commercial, light commercial. So I can toggle back and forth and I don't even have to rezone it. If I wanted to put a coffee shop in my little house, I could. I'm close enough to the downtown area that I can, it's like a parking thing too. You got to worry about parking, right? So anyway, yes, a lot of those lots are, and it's because your historic districts are going to be right in the heart of our cities, because clearly that's where things began, right?
Yeah. So you guys ready to see some homes today?
Heck yeah.
Let me share my screen, you guys, and we will get there.
Did you get pics of that little restaurant, the farm to table?
You know what? I didn't, but we can pull it up. I'll stop sharing and we can pull it up. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And
it's a cute little area. That's why I say.
Oh yeah, it's super cute. But yeah, unfortunately I wanted to go, but I didn't have a chance to experience the restaurant. So next time. But let's talk location, you guys, before we see some of these homes. So you can see it here, and I do have another map that displays exactly the outline of the area because it does kind of stagger a little bit. Mm-hmm. But here it is right here. So seated just below the 10. So right here, oh, sorry, it keeps saying at breakfast.
Yeah. It wants you to know it's there.
So it sits again north of the 10. You're right about where Roosevelt is down to Van Buren here, and then from 7th to 16th Street. So very conveniently located to downtown, walkable.
Oh yeah.
Downtown Phoenix. And so this map right here shows you exactly where the outlined areas is of this historic district.
Yeah, so it gets a little funny in there.
Yeah. but it actually became part of the National Registry of Historic Places in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So super cool. So let's look at some of the homes, you guys. So there are 7 properties listed for a resale. And I did drive by this lot and it looks just like this.
Accurate picture.
Set back from the street. So this lot is listed $299,900. And just so you understand too, just the detail on here, you guys, they do cost, so it's multifamily. And it does say you can also start from scratch and build what you've always dreamed of. Basically, what are you waiting for? So if this is a lot where you are looking to build your dream home in a historic neighborhood, this is it. And then let's go down. I did tour this home here right off Pierce Street, listed for $469,900. And let's look. So detail here, it's 3-bed. Most of these homes 3-bed, 2-bath. Approximate, so it's 1,800 square feet. This was built in 2008, so it's newer.
But it looks to be, looks like they constructed it to look like a home from that era.
100%. So you get those pyramidal roofs, which I absolutely love. I'm obsessed with pyramids, so it's super cool. So this is the backyard, which is a clean slate. You can do whatever you would like to this. Little side gate to enter into the garage. So it's a large backyard. I think it's 8,000 square feet. So bathroom, so kitchen, dining, living area right there. So good size.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a separate, and this is what I did see in most of these homes, is you walk in through the front door and you have this small living area right as you walk in the front door. Again, you can make it whatever you would like. I thought it was very cute. And again, definitely an opportunity to add some different landscape to it and still keep the, aesthetic of that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But very cute. And then this home on Roosevelt for $619,950. Oh my gosh, you guys. So let me show you the detail. 3-bed, 3-bath. It does have a guest house in the back.
Nice. A lot of people rent those out too. Bring in a little extra income. Yeah.
And this is you guys, you could absolutely have this as an investment property. 392 square feet in that guest house. It's large. Mm-hmm. And they have it decorated so cute. So this is 2,000 square feet. Year built is 1949.
Oh, what a lot of people do with those guest houses. Obviously, they could rent it out to a long-term tenant or have it as, work from home or whatever. But a lot of people Airbnb them.
What a great idea.
Yeah. Because you're real close. You don't have an HOA to contend with typically. And they're cute. People want to be right in the heart of Phoenix, right by, the downtown is the ball field and everything down there. So
such a great idea, especially this home, the backyard. Here's what we're looking at, you guys. It is so great for entertaining. So to your point, Airbnb would be fantastic for this.
Yeah.
So here's the front. I love the yellow door. Really nice charm. This is, you walk in from the front door. I mean, it's just all the details in here, the lighting, the floor, it's bright.
I love that they kept a lot of the look. That's nice.
I know. I don't know. I walked in and kudos to the listing agent. They had the TV on. It looked like a fireplace. They had music. It just was so inviting. This is the master. Again, decent size for your bedrooms. This is an area right off the kitchen. So something you could do with this, maybe it's an office or an area for kids, and then a big sliding door out to the back area. How awesome is this?
It is.
And then this is the extra living space.
So that's the guest house.
This is the guest house.
That's cute.
They have it. This is virtually staged. But they did have, it was a red refrigerator. It has a full bath, a great opportunity for an Airbnb. And then I do want to show you guys this home. It has gone pending, but I did have an opportunity to tour it. And I will tell you, this home is 100 years old. And oh my gosh, it has so much charm to it. It's two bed, two bath.
I love that they kept the 2-1. So this should be pretty true to what it was like when it was built. Oh, I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. And Katie, I'm not kidding you. And the homeowner, I did have a chance to meet her. She was moving back to Chicago. So we had a really great conversation. She did give me a lot of history of the home, and she had brought in a shipping container. And I'll tell you the story about that as we flip through some of these photos. So here's her shipping container. And because of all the overhead lines, she had to break down the wall and have someone roll it in on telephone poles. And it's in really, really nice condition. She's like, you could do so much with it. She wanted to make it more of like a workout area. You could make it a little casita too. I mean, it's in fantastic condition. And this is the original oven.
That. Oh yeah, definitely.
And stove.
Yeah.
And she said, so 4 months, she's like, I've never cooked better in my entire life. It's all gas. And I just loved this home. Now she had she redid the floors.
Redid them or like refinished them or replaced them?
I think
they look refinished.
They might have been refinished. She said she redid them, so I'm guessing maybe they're refinished.
Yeah.
But like original wood, like that in like, what do you call one of these things? I forget.
The casings or the built-ins.
The built-ins, and you see a lot of that in Chicago. So it really reminded me of like this old style Chicago home. Super cute. So she was using the second bedroom as an office. This was her office. And she had designed this so well. This is her master. And then the bathroom. And again, the backyard.
Cute.
I know. Yep. So that is different homes that are on the market in that area.
Wow. Imagine living right there too. That's just where everything is.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Because it is walkable, or you can ride your bike downtown. So where, like you said, you have Chase Field where the Diamondbacks play, Footprint Center where the Suns and the Mercury play. You're walkable to Roosevelt Row, where you have shopping. It's very eclectic, bars, a lot of art, design shops and things of that nature.
Well, and First Friday.
First Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. Now it said on the First Friday website that they had stopped that for COVID protocol, but they were starting it back up in January, it looked like.
Good.
Yep. And then what else we have? The Phoenix Art Museum, which is the largest art museum in the Southwest. Children's Phoenix Museum.
That's an awesome museum.
So great for families. The Heard Museum, which celebrates American Indian art, the Arizona Science Center, and then the Japanese Garden. Have you been to that?
No.
Oh my gosh, let me show you on this map. Oh my gosh, you guys, so we won't get into too much detail on it. However, it is right here. So this area, it's the Japanese Friendship Garden.
Whoa.
Yes. And it's supposed to be a place of peace and tranquility. You can go and meditate there. I believe the entry for the general public is $10 to get in. It's over almost 4 acres, 3.5 acres. And so they trim the trees. They're not all trees native to Japan. However, they trim them. It's all about, how you trim and prune these trees. They've got koi ponds, waterfalls. So if you just need to kind of go, Katie, maybe you need to go there just with all your moving.
Yeah, I'm like really interested in this. Tell me more, Dana.
A place of Zen for just a little bit of time. So even though it sits basically right on the I-10, you can't hear any of that traffic.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I know. So go check that out, you guys. And then The other stuff I brought out, so Roosevelt Row, again, great area for restaurants. This is the website. So go to www.visitphoenix.com and you can explore on here all that this area has to offer. Some really great information. You can see all the street art, and I'm not kidding you, you drive up and down this neighborhood and you see this on the streets.
That's gorgeous.
It's absolutely gorgeous, you guys. And then let's talk about, this is information on historic preservation. I thought was great, simply because as with ownership in a historic district, you know, that carries benefits and also responsibility. So if you are doing any exterior modifications or new development, it is subject to a design review and approval through the Historic Preservation Office.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just a good, you know, part of that information to know about too. So before you start, you know, doing crazy stuff to the exterior of your home.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because it definitely will, like you said, get in the way of things in terms of the designation. But also there are some certain tax breaks and things that these people can get in these neighborhoods. So you don't want to ruin that either. So make sure that you're talking with historic preservation before you do anything.
Awesome. Schools. Let's talk about schools real quick. ASU Prep Academy is K through 12. It's public. It's right there. It is gorgeous. This campus is huge. It's beautiful. There's a park that sits right there. We talked about the Garfield School. That's public. That's pre-K to 8th grade. And then you are very close to the ASU downtown campus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is so nice. So nice. And let's see, what else? There's 769 homes in this area, you guys. And then really feedback is it is up and coming. There's a lot of history here. And if you really would like to own one of these historic homes, you know, if that sounds like you, start looking here.
I agree. And again, people love them. And so I typically will see if somebody buys a historic home from us, I'm not normally selling it in a couple of years. Usually it sticks around, either they stay in it or they end up, you know, using it as a rental property or whatever. Curious, you said you spoke with that homeowner that's heading back to Chicago. How did she feel about living did she give you any feedback about the neighborhood and about living there? And I mean, I know she's moving for certain reasons, not necessarily because she doesn't like the home, right?
No, she loved the home. Absolutely loved it. She just missed her family in Chicago.
Yeah.
And she knew all of her neighbors, like basically rattled off all their first names to me. And she said she felt safe. And like, she loved being able to walk or even ride her bike everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, I think from a Chicago person, you know, that was great because you would walk everywhere in Chicago. So I think that's something that she really appreciated. But yeah, she knew all of her neighbors. She loved the area. She loved all the art. And, you know, she was sad to leave.
Yeah.
But she was excited for the next family that was going to be purchasing the home.
Yeah. And that's typically the conversation that I have with historic people, because we have sold their homes before, but because they lived there for 20 years or a certain huge chunk of time. And the reason why they were leaving and selling was for reasons just like that. That's usually the story. Usually they're very close in terms of neighbors. You know, I can speak quite a bit to the Mesa Historic Districts. That's where I own property. And that one, Evergreen, for instance, everybody knows everybody. They have cookie exchanges during the holidays, like this old school stuff, right? They have juice offs because there's so many citrus trees in the neighborhood and they're so, you know, developed because they've been there for 100 years. And so just a lot of cool stuff typically happens. And, you know, people that are attracted to these areas really have a big love for it. And there are some other historic districts downtown that I'm sure we'll get to in Phoenix that we'll get to with TNN, I'm sure, that have parades and stuff. Like, it's just really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot of pride comes along with ownership in these areas.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Well, like News Dana, that's what we're going to call her. Like what Christina always says, give us a follow on our YouTube page, because that's where you're going to be able to see all of the new episodes that pop up. We've got Real with Matt and Katie, which is our podcast. That's my husband and I, and we offer a monthly market update. So all the news you need to know, really, really hyper local here in Arizona in a matter of 20 minutes. So definitely hook up with our YouTube channel for that. And then also that way you can get each weekly episode of TNN. I will say we are on vacation next week.
Yes, enjoy the holidays, you guys. We'll be back and ready to roll for right before the new year.
Yes, absolutely. We will be back. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, you guys, Dana doesn't even know about this yet, okay? But we have this awesome group that we've started. It's on Facebook. It's called the Homeowner Education Group. I did put a link in the show notes to it. Click onto that. We're going to be going through some things. We're going to be probably starting with some 101 classes, right? Like buyer education 101, seller education 101, becoming a landlord. Anybody out there interested in becoming a landlord? We're going to be talking about that. What does that look like? I'm going to share a lot of personal experience. I've been a landlord for 10 years, so I have a lot of experience to share. The last class we're going to run in there, we're going to do these on a quarterly basis. The last class we're going to run in there is basic home maintenance for homeowners. Like, what do I do? When do I get the dryer vent cleared? Oh, you've never gotten your dryer vent cleared? Well, that's on the list. Like there's lots of things. How do I, look for termites? When should I do that? These types of things. So that's what we're going to be going over in our group. Please join us there. We will be getting that started just after the first of the year also.
So much exciting stuff happening, you guys. So thank you, Katie.
Yay. All right, guys. See you next year.
Bye, guys. Happy New Year.